Hello and welcome to another episode of the A New Day Show. I'm sitting here in the studio with an amazing crew, and we are just so excited that we get another opportunity to share and serve with you. This segment, the first segment for this evening, will be Don't Be Afraid to Ask for Help. I want to share a quote with you. The author is unknown, but it reads, "Take charge of your attitude. Don't let someone else choose for you." And I thought this was appropriate because too often we tend to give away our control to other people. And that's what we want to talk about this evening. There are some of us who are stronger in certain areas than others. And it is not a shame to ask for help. So that's what we're going to talk about. First, before we get into the depth of the conversation, I want to pull your attention to certain aspects of the things that you yourself do. And the first thing I want to have you focus on is your language and the way you speak. So we are going to be talking about listening to our own language. We're going to talk about reactive language and proactive language. And I'm going to give you the comparisons with both of them. So, the first question I would like to ask you, what are some reasons that prevents you from asking for help? A lot of times the word help is like a curse word because people tend to think that asking for help shows that you are weak, you're stupid, you're a novice, and the list goes on and on and on. And all those words are words that tend to hold you as a person in a mediocre state of mind and also of being. So, I'm here to tell you that asking for help shows strength, it shows assertiveness, it shows control, and it allows you to continuously build your self-esteem. So I want for you to erase that from your consciousness, that asking for help shows that you are weak and that you are less than. So with that out of the way, I want for you to take a few minutes and create your list of reasons and excuses that you have been using over your lifetime to not ask for help, all right? There's no wrong or right way to this. It just is, because the list that you are about to create, it's about you. It's your authentic list. It's not a list for anybody else, but it's a list for you. So go ahead, begin to jot down. Your list will probably look like fear, shame, inferiority, I don't match up to somebody else, because there are times that some people put other people on a higher plateau than they put themselves. So what your list looks like. I just started to jog your thought process. And I hope that that jogging was some sort of a provocative jogging, so that you can really be honest with yourself and jot down on that paper all the things that has been holding you back. That list is for you. It's not a confession. It's not something for you to share with anybody else. But it is a list for you to use to have a clear understanding how you can begin to take control and ask for the help and assistance that you need. The other thing I want to share with you is that every person that you will speak to over your lifetime on this transformation journey will tell you, I have been there. I could not have done this without the support of XYZ. So you are not alone. Surprise, surprise, you were thinking that you were isolated and lonely on that path. No, you are not alone, and you will never be alone. If you have not yet encountered anyone who has been there, they are close, they are in close proximity to you, and you will be meeting them very soon. So it's okay. Take courage, pat yourself on the back, and know that I am not alone in this, so I am with good company. I am in good company. Okay, so I'm sure you have finished your list for now. Leave some room on the paper, and you can add to that when something else comes up in your mind, because I can assure you tonight when you're in your bed sleeping, something else is going to pop up in your mind that you did not put on that paper. So leave some room that you can go ahead and add some more things later on. Okay, I want to share some insight here from this part I'm sharing, because this is good information here in this book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And I decided that I wanted to share this with you in this episode. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And also to help you to understand about the language you're using. So if you have not yet read this book, I encourage you to go get it, because I have this, you can notice my copy is not white anymore. It's all beige, because I've had it for so many years and I have used it throughout my life. So I know that there's something I will share here that will help you. So listening to our language, and this is what Stephen Covey says here. Because our attitude and behaviors flow out of our paradigms, if we use our self-awareness to examine them, we can often see in them the nature of our underlying maps. Our language, for example, is an everyday ideal indicator of the degree to which we see ourselves as prospective people. The language of reactive people absolves them of responsibility. That's me. That's just the way I am. I am determined. There is nothing I can do about it. Have you ever heard those words before? Have you yourself ever used these words? He makes me so mad. I am not responsible. My emotional life is governed by something outside of my control. I can't do that. I just don't have the time. Something outside of me, limited time, is controlling me. If only my wife were more patient, or husband, or significant other, someone else's behavior is limiting my effectiveness. I have to do it. Circumstances or other people are forcing me to do that, what I do. I'm not free to choose my own actions. And these are just a few of the excuses that people will hear. You will hear people use, or for sometimes you yourself use them occasionally. I'm here to tell you it is never too late. You can make the changes right now. You just need to make the decision that I'm sick and tired of that, and I'm no longer going to be operating my life this way. I'm going to take control and make a difference. So here are some other reactive language statements. There's nothing I can do about it. So you're surrendering, you give up. You're giving other people, other situation, other circumstances control over your thought and over your action, over your behavior. This is just the way I am. So you are complacent where you are. You're like a couch potato. You're sitting there, oh, this is the way I have been for 20 years, 30 years. This is just me. Okay, how long have you known me? This is the way I am. I'm not changing. No, you can change. And sometimes you cannot do that by yourself. You just need to ask for help. And don't allow shame and pride to hold you hostage in that situation. So ask for help. Other statements would be, he makes me so mad. Now, we all own our emotions, so nobody makes us mad. Nobody, no one, unless we allow them to. Okay? So, those are just not really, they're not myth, but those are comfort statements where you sit and say, well, I'm comfortable where I am in the situation and I am at, and therefore you give up and say, well, so long as I can feed these statements to myself, I don't have to ask for help. I don't have to change them. I just sit here and I mope and I whine about it and I complain about how other people are doing. And I don't want to do anything for myself because that's how I am, because somebody makes me do it. You know, the devil makes me do it. My wife, my boyfriend, my children, the government, everybody else besides you are making you do it. And you are the only person that is responsible for all the things that you are doing. They won't allow that. And this one is something that I hear so much of. There was a lady I was working with, and she was very creative in what she was doing on the job, and she's always coming up with ideas. And I said to her, but why haven't you shared it with management? Oh no, they're not going to listen to me. They have never had anybody share ideas. I said, well, you can be the first person. And she said, no. I said, if you are afraid to go in person, why don't you write it and give it to your supervisor? And what do you know? She listened to me, she listened to my suggestion, sent an email to her direct supervisor, and the man thought that was amazing. So much so that he called the president of the company, share her idea, and they liked it. They start implementing it throughout the company, and she was promoted. And her position, her company was not only local, but they had in other states, and they have a couple overseas offices as well. So this was a global implementation. And she was put in the position to travel to all the other offices to train the employees on how to do that. And she said to me one day, she said, you know, if that was the only benefit I got from coaching with you, it would be worth it, because had you not suggested to me to say something about it, I would still be looking that they would not do that. And I'm sharing this with you because you're probably in a position where you have a lot of brilliant ideas and you're afraid to share them with somebody, or even ask someone to help you to refine the idea and help you to organize it and organize the way how you can present it. Because there's none of us that have arrived. We all need help, and there's help out there for us, but we just got to ask. And so what if you ask and somebody says no? It's not the end of the world. You did not lose anything. They are just saying no right now. Check them back in a couple of months, a couple of weeks, a couple of years. Their situation will change. And by then you could have asked 100 more people, and you probably already accomplished that task you were asking help for, and can move on to something else and ask for help pertaining to something else. You just need to step out from behind that curtain of fear. You've been behind that black wall of fear for many years, and you're like peeking out, and you're afraid to come out. But I tell you, the minute you step from behind that black curtain of fear, you are going to realize that I've been holding myself back for so long. And when you just step out, the glare of excitement might trip you and you might fall, so what? You get up, you brush yourself off, and you will be surprised because there are going to be people there who are ready to pick you up. So, all is not lost. There is always help. But again, we must ask. Don't be afraid to ask. I have to do that? That's another thing. There are sometimes we think that things are beneath us and we don't see ourselves doing that. Do I have to do that? And those are just reactive languages that we feed ourselves. Another 3 powerful ones is I can't, I must, if only. How often have you heard those statements? How often? Over and over and over and over, you hear those statements. I want to read the list over for you because I want for you to erase these words from your vocabulary. There's nothing I can do about it. That's just the way I am. He makes me so mad, or she makes me so mad. They won't allow that. I have to do that. I can't. I must, if only. Now, here are your replacement statements I want for you to jot down, and I'm going to do my best to go slowly so you can record them, okay? Proactive language statements. Let's look at our alternative. Often you have heard, what's your B plan and do you have a C plan? And that's what having an alternative means. You are not just set on one thing. The second statement in proactive language is, I can choose to do a different approach. So again, it's all in the words and the way that they are being used. Number 3, I control my own feelings. And that's $1 million understanding right here, because you know what? Once you claim your truth that you are in total control of your own feelings, then you will start to trust your gut, as they put it, your gut feeling versus other people telling you. So when your inside is telling you to ask John, ask Doris for help, You won't need to go ask somebody else, or, what you think. You think I should ask Doris that. Your inside, your feelings already told you that you need to ask for help. The next statement is, I can create an effective presentation. So whatever it is that you're going to ask for help for or about, believe in yourself enough that I can put it together, enough for them to understand. And even if I don't, that's okay too. I can say, I need extra help in getting it together. Or what's your thoughts on this? Do you think it is appropriate? All right? So the next thing is, I will choose an appropriate response. Know that whatever it is that you are doing, you can make a choice to do either or. Don't be acting on impulse, because a lot of times once it is spoken, you cannot get it back. So take a deep breath and know that you can choose another appropriate response to whatever is going on. Remember that you always make choices. You choose what is going to happen. You choose, nobody else. I prefer, know what your choices are from the inside. I tell you, my heart is never wrong. A lot of time, my head will play games, but my heart is never wrong. So it is always on mark. So I can say, well, right now I prefer to go with what my heart is telling me, what my gut is telling me. And you can train yourself to practice those same things. Another proactive language is, I will. Remember, you were saying you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that. Now you know that you will. And with the support around you, not only physical support of people around you, but I have found out too that once I focus and concentrate on my spiritual well-being, that helps me to just be willing to focus on that and know that I will do the right thing. So here is the proactive list again. Let's look at an alternative. I can choose a different approach. I control my feelings. I can create an effective presentation of whatever the situation is. You don't necessarily have to be a trainer or a speaker. I will choose an appropriate response. A lot of times they say count to 10. There are lots of times when you have to count to 100 sometimes. But you need to be fully in control to do that. And the next thing I want to share from the list here is, you're always making the choice. Know what your preferences are, and know that you will make the right decision so long as you listen to yourself. It is not degrading or belittling to ask for help, because it is up to you to create the result that you are looking for. I want you to build your confidence and know that there is always someone out there who is willing to help you to accomplish this. Take baby steps. Take one step at a time. Be patient with yourself. And so what if you ask for help once and you did not get it together? Go back again. Be creative in the way you're asking it. But never, 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 never give up on yourself. Don't give up on yourself. Know that you are created for greatness. And until you believe that about you, you are going to be holding yourself back. Sometimes our limiting beliefs and behaviors holds us back in our personal life and also in our professional lives. So I want you to also get rid of the limiting beliefs about you, who you are, what you can or cannot do. Because you can do all things so long as you trust in the universe. The universe is faithful. I want to share another quote with you here. And I want you to keep this one in your mind because this is the one that will encourage you to get up and always ask for the help that is needed. Be bold and courageous. When you look back on your life, you'll regret the things you didn't do more than the ones you did. So go out there, have fun, and keep doing, because the more you accomplish, the happier you're going to be. The more you do, you are going to realize that I am deserving. I am deserving. So I'm going to go out there, I'm going to have fun, and I'm just going to keep doing, and just creating new things for me. If you have not done so, I want you to check us out on Facebook at A New Day Radio and TV and like us there, and also A New Day TV at Twitter at A New Day Radio and TV. And check our website out, Daphne Clarke-Hudson Empowers.com. And for those of you who would like to speak with me in person, you can phone 203-794-6208, 203-794-6208. We look forward to hearing from you. And also, if you know of some community that you would like to be seeing the show in, I want you to reach out and let us know. Stay tuned for our next episode.
Thank you.